Brought to you by Penguin.
Miss Burnham and the Loose Thread by Lynn Knight, read by Polly Edsell. Prologue. A Gentleman Friend, October 1924 and February 1925. Will you be mother? Phyllis reached for his teacup. This would be the first time she'd poured tea for a gentleman friend. She hoped her hand would not shake. Do you take sugar? Yes, please. 2 lumps. Milk? The milk jug trembled. She must not spill milk in his lap. Don't get flustered, Phyllis told herself. He may be just as nervous as I am. This is a pretty cafe, she said, to cover her embarrassment. The cafe was on one of the roads, some distance from the park, in a small parade of shops in what had looked like a purely residential district. Unless you knew the area well, you wouldn't know the cafe was there. She had thought they would have tea at the Crystal Palace tea rooms, but, really, this was nicer, more discreet. How did you find it? Oh, on my travels, he said, managing to make southeast London sound almost exotic. I'm glad you like it. It is a bit out of the way, but I wanted to bring you somewhere that would suit you, somewhere more individual. Her first compliment. Phyllis had never thought of herself as individual in any way. She lifted her teacup and studied the pattern printed there. Its posies complemented the cafe's crimson and jade-green cushions, their colours sharp against the dark Jacobean-style chairs. Pretty china, too, Phyllis said. I usually take tea with my mother. She will be missing you this afternoon, then, Miss Holmes. It's just the 2 of you, I think. They had touched on this earlier, during a short walk around the park, in which she had been grateful for the chance to talk about the greedy ducks and watch other promenaders. But there were no more distractions. It was just the 2 of them now. Yes, my father died last year. I'm sorry to hear that. In the silence that followed, Phyllis's companion made short work of a scone and brushed the crumbs from his moustache. She took a small bite from a slice of Madeira cake. I expect your mother vets all your beaux. Beaux? Imagine. Phyllis blushed. But it was a nice sensation, as much pleasure as embarrassment, for once. There had been no other beaux, but dare she whisper that word now? Mother is happy for me to have friends, she said more stiffly than she'd intended. It was so hard to get this right. And, truth to tell, there had not been that many friends, and certainly no gentlemen among them. Phyllis looked up and saw that Mr. Wilson was smiling. It was the first time since they'd sat down that she had lifted her gaze from the knot of his college tie. He had warm brown eyes and crinkled lines on a kind face. She stirred her tea, emboldened. It's very pleasant to come out for an afternoon. You must be a great comfort to your mother. Phyllis demurred. She pictured herself posting Mother's letters, collecting her library books, and sitting still, palms facing while Mother wound wool around her hands. It's hard for ladies to have to get used to having no man in the house. It had been hard. No ally, just Mother's emphatic sighs and querulous tones. There's no sugar in my tea. You know I take sweet tea in the afternoon. You might allow me one of my few indulgences. Phyllis had given up her own sugar ration to her mother during the war, and gladly, and now that rationing was long over and done with, found she was perfectly happy to go without. Not that her sacrifice had sweetened Mother any, she noticed. I expect you help it all.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?